Major support for Do the Math has been provided by Chevron, the Kern County Superintendent of Schools, Edison International, Valley Strong Credit Union, California Resources Corporation, Bakersfield West Rotary Stroop Family Foundation, Panama Buena Vista Union School District, Bakersfield City School District, Kern High School District, and AC Electric Company, with additional production assistance provided by these supporters of education in Kern County and throughout the state of California.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to Do the Math. I'm Michael.
I'm Marylou.
And in studio with us we have Christopher. And Christopher, if somebody needed to get a hold of us today, what would they need to do?
For math homework help, call in Bakersfield 636-4357, toll free 1-866-636-6284. Email dothemath@kern.org. We're online at dothemathonline.net. And on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube.
All right, certainly a lot of ways to get a hold of us here at Do the Math. And how was your New Year? Have you had a good New Year so far?
Yeah.
All right, good. Now, I know I'm kind of putting you on the spot, but a lot of people make New Year's resolutions. Have you ever done that, or did you do one this year, or have you ever done one?
I've done one, but I didn't do one this year.
Okay. Are there any ones in the past you've done pretty well at? Because a lot of times people go, oh, I'm going to try to work better at this, and then they do for a while, and then it kind of goes off by the wayside a little bit. But is there anything that you've done that was pretty good that you tried?
I can't think of one because I don't do most of them really good.
Okay, yeah, well, you know what? A lot of times people go, something as simple like, I'm going to try not to eat as many sweets.
Oh.
Right, I don't want to eat as much candy or sweets or something like that. A lot of people go, right? And for a couple of days, couple of weeks, maybe they don't eat any candy at all. But then after a while, it's like, oh, we're going to get back a little bit of candy. Oh, one piece won't hurt or something like that. But anyway, why don't you let everybody know where you go to school and what grade you're in?
I go to school at Panama Elementary, and I'm in 6th grade.
All right. And you've been a yellow jacket for a long time?
Yeah.
How long?
Like
forever?
Since kindergarten.
Since kindergarten. So basically forever.
Yeah.
So half your life more than you've been at Panama.
Yeah.
How is school, because everybody's kind of getting used to doing the computer thing now, do you see anything that you like about doing school this way?
Doing school this way would help me have more control over my work and be more organized.
Okay, good. So it's helping you with your organization.
Yeah.
All right, good. That's a positive right there. A lot of kids like doing things like this. For one, you've got everything on these specific websites, kind of keeps things organized and stuff like that. So good, as long as it's helping you out. You ready to do some work today?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to have you do a lot of work today, but first we're going to take a look at today's Math in the News. And here we go, today's Math in the News. We might as well start off the first program of 2021. Happy New Year 2021. So I found a lovely little graphic right there for us. Marylou.
Yes.
Any new happenings, big things coming up, resolutions, anything like that for the new year?
The only thing is, like you kind of mentioned it, my thing was to ask myself all the time, how can I do better with everything I'm doing? How can I do that better?
Okay.
So that was mine, and there's no way I'm giving up candy, sorry. That is not even on the list.
That's not going to happen, no.
Nope.
Well, I know that you recently came into a new job position.
Yes.
So that's something new that, pretty exciting and learning all the time with that.
Oh yes, that's a daily.
Hourly, probably.
Hourly,
right?
yep.
All right, well, let's take a look. Happy New Year. So I thought, all right, well, we're going to have to tie math into this somehow. So New Year's resolutions. This is why I was asking you if you guys have New Year's resolutions. A lot of people say they want to exercise more. That is probably the most dominant one, is people always want to do more exercise. Eat healthier, another big one, right? Have less stress, that would be beautiful also. Learn new skills. Regardless of the age, this is a pretty important one, is to learn new skills. Sleep enough. I think everybody loves to sleep. Right?
That would be nice.
Go on vacation. That's going to be a big one soon again, right? I mean, because of the situation we're all in. More family time, help others. But New Year's resolutions, this is the time where people make these things. And like I said, exercise is the biggest one. So let's take a look at exercise and some of the numbers with it, all right? So the exercise calorie chart. So Marylou, is there anything up there that you see that you do on a regular basis, or that you do, like you'd go, all right, out of all of those, this is the one I do the most of?
Definitely.
And sleeping doesn't count.
No, I don't. That's probably my least. Hiking, and I would have to say sitting right now, because we're all doing a lot of the sitting.
Okay, so you're doing a lot of sitting, but then
Yes.
you've got the hiking,
Yes.
which is right over here, which is about 360 calories per hour, all right? Christopher, what about you? Are there any activities here that you see that you've done in the past or you like to do?
I normally just do sitting and housework.
Okay, well, good. There you go. I mean, doing housework, I mean, people think, well, you're just doing housework. You're moving around, you're doing things, right? So you can see a bunch of different examples here about the number of calories that you burn per hour doing various activities. So this is how we start getting the numbers into this, all right? Now, I've got a question for you, Christopher. It says exercise calorie chart. Now, you know what a chart is, right?
Yeah.
You can make a lot of different types of charts. You know what exercise is,
Yeah.
okay? Do you know what a calorie is?
Vaguely.
Man, that's a tough one, isn't it? Well, you know what? What the heck is a calorie, right? When you look at containers for food, you can see it says calories, right? Here it says you get 50 calories if you consume this, right? Per serving, right? And they're saying there's 2.5 servings in this container. So if you ate the whole thing, 2 servings would be 100 calories and a half would be 25. So it'd be 125 calories you would have consumed eating whatever this is, right? So on the more humorous side, right, here's a depiction of a calorie. You think that really what a calorie looks like? No. But anyway, for those a little older, let's say, calories, tiny creatures that live in your closet and sew your clothes a little bit tighter every night. All right, so you know, some of the adults out there, you know, humor out of that one, right? That's what calories are, right? These little guys go in there and sew your clothes tighter every night. But anyway, let's take a look what a calorie actually is. So a calorie is a unit of energy, all right? The energy we put into our body through food and drink, and the energy we use to move, think, and breathe. A calorie, and it's written kcal like that, okay, is the amount of energy it takes to heat 1 kilogram of water 1 degree Celsius. Okay, so that's that bottom line right there. The amount of energy it takes to heat 1 kilogram of water 1 degree Celsius, that is a calorie. So it's a unit of energy, even though a lot of people think of just food and burning calories and things like that. But when you're burning calories, this is what you're actually doing. Kind of makes sense a little bit?
Yeah.
All right, so now you got a better idea of what a calorie is, and that is today's Math in the News. 636-4357 is the phone number. We do have phone tutors available until 5:30, most Tuesdays and Wednesdays throughout the regular school year. This is the beginning of 2021, so welcome back. Hopefully everybody is still doing well, and we certainly are happy to have Christopher in studio with us. So you about ready to get to work, young man?
Yeah.
All right, over to the board with you. Grab one of the markers and we're going to go ahead and get you working. Now, one of the things you said you were working on in class was integers, which means positive and negative numbers. All right? So you and Marylou right now are going to discuss what you know about integers, do a couple of problems, make some up, work with them a little bit, and then show us how you figure out what these are and how to work with them. All right? You ready?
Yeah.
All right. You and Marylou, take it away.
All right, Christopher, explain to me what integers are.
An integer would just be like this would be an integer, but then if I do this, then it would be a different integer.
What does that look like on a number line?
On a number line, it would be, this would be 0, and then this would be 5, and this would be -5. And so each line in between would be a different number. So it would be 4, 3, 2, 1, but then it would be -1, -2, -3, and -4.
So I know that looking at this, as the numbers are going to the right on the number line, they get larger, right?
Yeah.
Correct? Well, what is happening then on the negative side of that number line? Is that the same as I'm going -1, -2, -3, -4, -5? Am I getting larger with negatives?
No, you're getting smaller with negatives.
So kind of explain to me the difference between the -5 and then the -1. Which has more worth?
This one, the -1 would have more worth than the -5 because it's closer to the 0, which means it's closer to being a whole number.
Very good. Okay, you ready to do some problems?
Yeah.
Okay, so pick a number from 0 to 9. And it could be a positive or a negative.
Okay.
Okay, write it up there. Okay, and put a minus and put a 3 in front, behind it to the right side of it, behind the 3, put another minus sign for me and put a 3. And solve that for me. And kind of show us also on the number line what it looks like as well. So give us the solution and then show us how to get it on the number line.
Okay. Well, for me to get on the number line, then I would have to make the number line bigger on each side. Then this would be 8. And then on the number line, it would be this, and then it'd go backwards.
And why are we going backwards?
Because it's a negative number, and then negative numbers make it, with the minus, it goes backwards.
It goes to the left.
Yeah. Which would be -6.
Awesome. Nicely done. Okay, ready for another one?
Yeah.
Okay. Put the number 12.
Okay.
You could erase that problem if you want. And put plus, behind it, put 12 plus, sorry. And put -5. Now, Christopher, do you know, have you learned other ways besides a number line to show how to solve integers?
Not that I can remember.
Have you done like discs where a positive and a negative disc
No, I don't think so.
cancel each other out? Okay, so solve that one for me, however you need to.
It would be, yeah.
Okay, explain to me why it's a +7 and not a -7.
The reason it's not a -7 is because the 12 is bigger than the -5.
Very good. And when we have more positives,
It would be a positive.
okay, so let me quickly show you what I was kind of just saying about the disc.
Yeah.
It's another way besides using the number line. So if we do 12, right? You know what? Erase that for me, that 0. Let's just do,
No, wait.
oh,
Wait.
no,
Don't
just
erase-
just
okay,
that
just the 0.
right there.
Okay.
Perfect, thank you. So if we have 12 positives, right? Count with me, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now pick up the red pin for me
Okay.
and give me 7 negative signs underneath the positives.
You know, on 5 negatives.
Oh, 5 negatives, sorry, thank you.
3, 4, 5.
Okay, so if we look at this, we can say, hey, for every positive, we have a negative, and that zeroes it out. It's almost saying like 1 minus 1, which is 0, right?
Yeah.
So this zeroes out. So I could cancel, 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 and cancel, and circle those plus signs that are left. How many positives do we have left?
7.
There you go. That's another way to show it besides using that number line. That's another way to show, hey, this is why it's positive. It's because we have more positives than we have
Negatives.
very good. Okay, last one. I'm going to let you make up the problem.
Okay.
And you-
I want to play in this game too here.
Okay.
All right, so go ahead and erase the board there, Christopher. You can make up the problem, but I'm going to add to it, all right?
Okay.
So start over on your left-hand side. You write down the problem the way you want it right now.
Okay.
Oh, I like your choice.
Okay, so what I want you to do is the negative 15, put that in parentheses for me.
Okay.
Now we're going to, after the 15, after the parentheses, I want you to put plus 7, plus 4, minus 6, minus 1, plus 8, minus, what number you want to put it at the end?
Nice.
All right.
All right, you ready?
How are you going to tackle that one?
You would use Pemdas to figure out which one to do first, which ones to do first.
Okay, so you got all addition and
Yeah.
subtraction, so that's good and
Yeah.
that's easy. And then once you go through it however you want, if Marylou shows you a different way, that's good. And then if you guys still need to, I'll show you a third way.
Okay.
But go ahead and work on that.
So then the parentheses would be first, which would be negative 12 minus negative 15, which would be negative.
Okay, think about that real quick.
Wait.
You have that minus sign on the outside of the parentheses, and
Right.
what it's really saying is
Oh wait. Then it
12 minus the opposite of 15, right?
would- Yeah.
What's the opposite of a negative?
A positive.
So what's going to happen to that negative sign when they're side by side?
It would be a positive.
They turn into a positive, exactly. So we want to make this actually a plus sign. When you have two negatives side by side, it's really saying what is the opposite of a negative.
Okay.
Opposite of a negative is a,
Positive.
okay. So now, where else can you go?
You would do the addition ones first, then the subtraction.
I like your style there.
And it would be 27. Then these would be 11. It would be 9. And then we'd bring the subtraction down. And then this would be positive. So then we do the addition of these, which would be 38 minus 6 minus 9 minus wait.
Could you figure out those negatives on the end first? Could
Wait,
we,
these?
yeah, can we look at this? Because we know it's 27 plus 11, and then we
Yeah.
have all these negatives. And
Okay.
we know that, what are we going to do with all those negatives? Are we just going to group them all together?
Now remember, what you want to do is you want to go in order from left to right.
Okay.
Because what you're doing is combining things before you
Okay.
are going left to right.
All right. So
That's
I'll
why I
let
wanted you to do a
continue.
long problem,
Okay.
because there's a couple of ways to do this.
Then it would be 32. Then it would be that, it would be wait.
9 plus 2 is?
9 plus 2 would be 11.
Right. Carry the 1.
Then it would be
You actually can, here, let's move the page up a little bit for you, okay? There you go.
It would be 41. Then wouldn't it be minus 4?
Okay, hold on.
Confused.
On this one right here, you're adding, right?
Yeah,
But what is this? Are you supposed to be adding or are you supposed to be subtracting?
subtracting.
Okay.
It would be then it would be 23, and then minus 4 would be 19.
Okay. All right.
Now, here's what I say. You're a pretty smart kid.
Yeah.
All right? Here's what we're going to do. You and I are going to do this mental math. What's 12 plus 15?
12 plus 15, 27.
27 plus 7.
27 plus 7, which would be 34.
Did you say it? I didn't
Yeah,
hear.
he said
Yeah,
34.
Oh, 34. Okay,
Yeah.
so 34 plus 4.
Okay. 34 plus 4 would be 38.
Okay, 38 minus 6.
38 minus 6, 32.
32 minus 1.
32 minus 1 would be 31.
31 plus 8.
Plus 8 would be 39.
39 minus 4.
35.
Okay, so you see how that's a different answer?
Yeah.
Now, here's what I want you to do. Leave the problem up there, okay? Erase all of the stuff under the problem.
Under the problem, which would be
There you go. All that stuff. Just make
You
a big
just make a
circle
big
around it. There you go.
circle around it all. There you go. And then touch the middle.
All right,
Boom.
here's what we're going to do, okay? I want you to make a T table, a T chart.
That's
Okay.
where-
On the left-hand side, put a plus sign, negative sign on the other side. Okay, now the first number is 12. What side does it go on?
it would go right.
Okay, so
here.
start putting all the numbers on the side they belong.
So what we're doing, Christopher, is we're grouping all our positives together.
It would be 8. It would be 4.
Now, do
Don't
we have
forget
them
the
all?
1.
Yeah.
the one.
So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, you have them all. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to add up all the positives and then add up all the negatives. And again,
Okay.
let me move this. Let's see if we can move this down a little bit. There you go.
Okay.
So, and you could, if you need to, you could add it up like here.
Okay. Would be 12 carry the 1, 12, and 11, 4, 7, 4, 15. Would be that.
Okay. Did he add up this column correct?
Yeah, he's got 46.
Good. Yep. Perfect.
Then would I subtract it?
Yep.
Okay.
You see how you get 35 again?
Yeah.
All right. So the reason I wanted you to do that is because sometimes you're going to get problems like this when you're doing integers that are going to be a long list of integers. And if you can do it mentally in your head like you and I did, that's beautiful.
Okay.
But sometimes you're not going to be able to because let's say this was 212, 315, 47, 908. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're going to be really hard numbers. So you may not be able to do it in your head, but this is an easy way to organize them. Just add up all the positives, all the negatives, find the difference. Whichever number is bigger, that's what the sign is going to go to them, and then you're done. Does that help out a little bit?
Yeah.
All right, there you go. Nice work with the integers. And for doing some great work, You've got yourself a meal courtesy of our friends at Grillin' Burger, so congratulations on that. Do remember we have phone tutors available until 5:30 most Tuesdays and Wednesdays throughout the regular school year. We'll be back with more right after this. Well, today we're at KCSOS working with some 6th grade students from a variety of elementary schools here in Bakersfield. We're going to investigate circles, some vocabulary, and then make a little something with them also. You guys ready? All right. So, the first thing is, how many of you have ever seen one of these? Everybody has seen one of these, right? What is this? You guys know what it's actually called? This is a compass, okay? What you would do is just put a pencil in here, right? Put this in the center, right? Figure out what size circle you wanted as far as the radius and diameter, and then you would hold it and then spin it. Now, how many of you have used one of these before? Okay, you've all used one. How many of you think this is very easy to use? Only a couple of you, right? Okay, because sometimes it slides all over the place, right? And, I mean, if you're not careful with it, I mean, it's got a pretty sharp point on the end of it, right? So we're not going to use these, right? This is like when I was in school, okay? So what you've got is a different style of compass, and that's what we're going to use right now. So here's how we're going to do it. So just follow along right now. Think about the center of the paper. Okay? You may not be able to find the exact center right now, but I'm not worried about the exact center. Put your compass on the paper, and right in the center, I'm just going to make a little dot so I know that that's the center of my paper. Okay? You're going to hold that center with your finger. Okay? So you're going to hold it down with your finger, not the finger you hold your pencil with, because you're going to need your pencil. So with your opposite hand, hold it down with that one finger. Now, you can see there are measurements on here, okay? If I want a 2-inch radius, I'm going to put it right here, all right? And then what I'm going to do is, holding the compass down, just completely make a circle. And now I've got a perfect circle holding the center. And it doesn't have to be the 2-inch radius that you put your pencil in. You can make it anywhere you want, okay? I just want you to practice making a circle, okay? Making a perfect circle. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take where my center point was, okay? I'm going to put a point on the outside of the circle, any place on the circle. So I'm going to put a point right here, and I can call it P for point, all right? So put a point anywhere on the outside of the circle you want, okay? Use the straight edge and connect the center to the outside point. If you connect the center to an outside point, does anybody know what that line is called? What is that?
Diameter.
Diameter?
Yeah.
Close. If we went all the way across, that would be the diameter. But if we only go halfway, that's called the radius. Have you guys ever heard of the radius? Okay. So we're going to label it radius. Then make another point someplace different. Then what I want you to do is go all the way through the center to the other side. That is now going to be the diameter. All right? So we simply made a circle. We've got our center, we've got the radius, and we've got the diameter. So those are some of the key vocabulary words that you're going to need for the next activity as we continue working on circles with some of the 6th grade students here at KCSOS. All right, once again, a reminder, we do have phone tutors available until 5:30 this afternoon. Marylou, remember years ago when education was taking this turn and they said, we're going to focus on STEM.
Yes.
And remind us again what STEM stands for.
Science, technology, engineering, and math.
And then recently, they came out with a new one, STEAM. And what does the A stand for?
Art.
That's right, arts. And we always like to stress the importance of arts. We all love the arts. I do it a ton in my classroom with the GATE students and stuff like that. But today, we are fortunate enough to have some visual and performing arts faculty from the Panama Buena Vista Union School District in studio with us. And we've got Teresa and Heather. And how are you ladies today?
Good. Thank
Good.
you.
Now, do both of you work at the same school or different schools? Teresa, where do you work at?
So I teach at 2 elementary schools, Stockdale Elementary and Reagan Elementary.
All right.
And I teach at Thompson Junior High.
All right. So have you always taught junior high or have you gone?
I've actually gone back and forth. I taught junior high and then I taught elementary and I'm back teaching junior high.
All right. So you love those 7th and 8th graders.
Yes, I do.
There you go. All right. Well, you know what? I've got a 6th grade student, Christopher, over there. He's been working with integers today. But I think Christopher knows a little bit about music also because he does play an instrument, correct, Christopher?
Yeah,
What do you play?
I play trumpet.
All right. Well, ladies, I think you're going to talk to Christopher about math and music and how they incorporate with each other.
Yeah, that's right. So we're going to actually start by echoing. So I'm going to play our clapper rhythm. Christopher's going to echo my clapping, and you can actually join Christopher in this echo clapping. So we'll start here with 4 beats. Ready? And I'll go first. Oh, that's okay. I'll go first. I'll go first, and then you can echo back. Okay? Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Good job.
Okay, so what they just did was they clapped a whole note. And we wanted to show you today how music and math are related. So I'm going to show you, if I take a whole note, and actually I'm going to pretend this is a pie, and we'll pretend that I'm making straight even lines there. But the pie, if I take this pie and divide it into 4 pieces, and I give you a whole pie, Christopher, can you tell us how many pieces of pie you would have if I gave you the whole pie?
4 pieces.
4 pieces. Okay, so just like a whole note, a whole pie is 4 pieces, a whole note is 4 pieces. Okay,
Let's do another clapping. Again, I'll clap first, and then you'll go ahead and echo me, okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
We'll do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Good job.
good. Okay, so now they've added half notes. So a half note looks like this. It's a circle with a stem. A half note gets 2 beats. So let's look at it in relation to a fraction. If we look at half the pie now, Christopher, if I gave you half of this pie, how many pieces of pie would I give you?
2 pieces.
2 pieces of pie. Very good. Okay, so a half of pie is 2 pieces. A half note is 2 beats. Okay, let's go on.
Yep, next one, ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Good job.
Very good. Okay, so now we're going to do a quarter of a pie. And that one gets a little tricky because not everybody knows what the word quarter means. But a quarter is a fancy word for a fraction. Christopher, do you happen to know what that is?
1/4.
Very good. So 1/4 is the same thing as a quarter. Okay, so if I'm going to give you one of the 4 pieces, a quarter of the pie, you've got
1 piece.
1 piece. Good. Okay, so a quarter of the pie is 1 piece. A quarter note is 1 beat.
Wait, you said a quarter?
A quarter.
I have a quarter.
A quarter.
I actually have 4 quarters.
4 quarters, look. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And 4 quarters actually is also
What is it?
$1.
A
a dollar. So we could have $1, like a whole note, or 4 quarters, like 4 quarter notes. We're going to move on to the next one.
The next one, go ahead.
You ready?
Yeah.
1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and
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 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Good job.
Good. Okay, so now we've added eighth notes. Okay, so if I'm going to give you an eighth of the pie, we need 8 pieces to be able to give you 1/8. So I'm going to make 8 pieces. So watch this. Let's see if we have 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so now I'm not giving you a 1 whole piece of pie. I'm giving you a half of a piece of pie. Okay, so 1/8 of the pie is a half a piece. An eighth note gets half a beat. Okay, so all of these notes are the same as fractions, because if we have a whole, we've got 4/4. That's a fraction. Oops, I'm kind of writing in music instead of fractions. Half, quarter, and eighth. So music and fractions are very closely related. Okay, so from there,
Yeah,
we're
so,
going to go to some music math.
so now that we know the value of each of those music notes, let's make some music math. If we take a half note and we add it to a quarter note, how many beats would that equal? Well, we know the half note gets
2,
2 beats, and a quarter note gets
1 beat.
1 beat. That means a half note plus a quarter note equals
3.
3 beats. Yeah.
Okay, let's do another one. Okay, let's say we have a half note plus a quarter note plus a quarter note. Okay, so we know a half note equals 2 plus a quarter note equals
1.
1, and then another quarter note that equals 1. So, Christopher, what do we have?
That would be 4.
4 beats.
Good job.
Okay.
What if we have a whole note plus a half note plus a quarter note? Christopher, can you do the math?
That would be, the whole note would be 4.
Good.
The half note would be 2.
Mhm.
And then the quarter note would be 1. So that would equal 7.
Yeah, 7 beats. Good job, Christopher.
Good job.
Now, we can even take that and let's find a way, knowing the value of the notes, can we make 4 beats? What could we use to make 4 beats?
We could use a quarter note 4 times.
Excellent.
Or we
Yeah.
could use 2 half notes. Or we can use a whole note.
Good job. And actually, the whole note, do you remember what's different about this one? It was like the pie.
Yeah.
What was that?
It was a circle.
It was a circle,
Right.
but it wasn't filled in. It looks just like the pie. The one that gets colored in is that quarter note. That's what makes it a little bit different than the half note. Yeah. Good job, Christopher. So that's a way we can have 4 beats. And when we write that in music, if we take this first one that Christopher did, and we just write out the quarter notes without adding them, we know that it equals 4. How would we count that?
It would be with the claps. It would be 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, good job. So you just created a rhythm.
Very
Didn't you?
good.
Yeah, good job.
Okay, so now let's look very quickly at this group of 4. So in music, we do a lot of grouping of 4 in the beginning. And so when we see the beginning of a line, we see 4/4, which just tells us that there are 4 beats in a measure. A measure is this little group that we see here. So here's the 4 Christopher notes, and then we've got a line. And then if we did 4 more beats, we put a line. 4 more beats, we put a line. So you can see each one of these is 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
Let's try counting
think-
all 3 of those measures together. You think we can do that?
Yeah.
Let's try it. Ready? And go.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Good job, Christopher.
Very good.
Wow,
Very
so we
good.
made music, we did math. That was pretty easy.
It was pretty easy. So if you've ever thought that, oh, I don't know, music it's hard, I don't know how to do it, look how simple this is. Now you know how to count and you know note values. Very easy stuff. So we hope that everyone who doesn't play an instrument out there will think about it, talk to your school music teachers, especially next year, and make sure that you can get signed up for music, okay?
Nicely
All
done.
right.
Thank you, Teresa and Heather from Panama Buena Vista Union School District, the Visual and Performing Arts faculty members. Just a couple of them. There's a whole bunch of you guys, right?
There are.
Out of the whole, I mean, because you work at 2 schools for elementary, you work at 1 for junior high, so there's got to be, what, like 30 of you?
I
probably?
think there are
Yep,
30 of
about
us.
30 of
About
us.
30.
Lucky guess
yeah.
on my part right there. Anyway, we'll be back with more right after this.
Hi, I'm Kat. I am here in the DZ, the Discovery Zone. This is our Science Center nature room full of cool stuff that we let students get to hold and touch. And I want to show you some of the cool things that we have in here. But before I do, almost every time students come in here, their first question when they see this room is, oh my gosh, is this stuff real? And the answer is almost everything here is real. We're going to show you a bunch of cool stuff that's from the wild that we have used so that you can learn from it. The other question we get sometimes from some people who don't know us too well is, did you guys kill these things? No, we as naturalists, we love nature. And Camp Keep has been around for a really long time. So we are lucky enough that sometimes we find things that have died out in nature and we can bring them in and present them in a way that you can learn from them. So I want to start over here at these shells right here. There's so many cool jars that come, that have animals in them that come from the ocean. A lot of them live in the tide pool area. But we have some things that are harder to find. Check this one out. This is my favorite one because you get to really see the underside of an octopus. We even have some bigger jars down here like this one that has a jellyfish in it. It's so cool. We have some other cool things over in this area here. One of my favorite things to show students is these birds. This is a chance that you get to actually touch and hold a bird. You get to look at its beak, its feathers. This one's a type of woodpecker called a northern flicker, and I just love how it has stripes, it has spots, and check this out. The little center part of their feather is like hot pink, hot orange. That's really rare in a bird, so it's just a really cool time to do it. There's so many other cool things that we have around here. We have animals that students get to pick up like this. We've got the skull cabinet over here. So many interesting things. This right here is a black bear skull. You can actually hold this. There's so many interesting things that we let students pick up and hold. We even have some live animals. I'm going to show you, I just fed some pellets to my friend Petey over here. He's a pond turtle that swims around, and he's a lot of fun to watch. Over in this other tank, we even have tadpoles. We have these tiny little tadpoles that are, we just put into this tank less than a month ago. So we're getting to watch them develop, which is really fun. The last thing I want to show you here is we have all these cool microscopes, and we have a treasure chest of cool nature things that students get to turn on the microscopes and check things out, get a closer look. The last thing, I promise, are the cool furs you get to touch. I wanted to end with this one, the Sea Otter Pelt. It's really cool to get a chance to actually touch some of these animals that you wouldn't get to touch if they were alive.
And we were talking earlier about learning and constant learning and learning new things all the time, and new experiences and things like that is key over at Camp Keep. 636-4357 is that phone number. We do have phone tutors available until 5:30 this afternoon. We have Christopher, a 6th grade student from Panama Elementary, and he is a lifelong yellow jacket. Been going along pretty well thus far, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, do you know where you're going to be going to junior high next year?
Stone Creek.
Okay. What is one thing you think you're looking forward to the most? Because you've been at Panama for all of your schooling. What are you looking forward to when you go to Stone Creek now?
Mainly just in band.
Oh, good. Yeah, band, right? So, I mean, you're in band right now, so it's going to get a little more intense when you're in junior high. You'll get a lot more band members. It's going to sound a whole lot different and be a whole lot of fun, too. So, all right. Nice to have that look forward to. You ready for the next step in your mathematics today?
Yeah.
All right. We're going to work on something that I think you did in 5th grade. I'm pretty sure you did. But I know you're going to be doing it in 6th grade. So let's go ahead and write the problem up on the board.
Okay.
All right? So start all the way over on your left, because this is going to take a little while.
Okay.
8. Open parentheses.
Wait.
So just start a parentheses. Yep. Now inside of it, you're going to write x plus 4.
X plus 4.
Close parentheses. Minus. Now open another set of parentheses. X minus 5. And close parentheses. Now, you and Marylou are going to work through this, and what I'd like you to do is explain as much of it as you can
Okay.
that you know right now. And if
Okay.
you go, I'm a little stuck, that's fine too. All right? Go.
All right. So what do you know about this?
So I know that we won't be able to do these until we find out what x is.
Okay.
And
Now remember, we're not
So,
solving because there's
We're
no
not
equal
solving,
sign
there's no-
here.
Yeah, there's no equal sign. Will we find out what x is? Probably not. We won't know what it is. So what we want to do is simplify it
Okay.
as much as we can. Okay? What are you wondering?
I'm wondering how we're going to simplify, because with the parentheses and with Pemdas, we're going to need these to go first, but because there's nothing here, that means we'd multiply it, so that would go first.
Very good. Obviously, since we can't add x plus 4, you're correct. We have to start by multiplying. So what do you think we want to multiply first?
We would want to multiply 8 times x times plus 4.
Very good. And do you know what property that's called when you do that? Starts with a D.
Distributive.
That is awesome. You know what? I was like, you're putting the kid on the
Yes.
spot with what property is that?
You did
Right? The
awesome.
distributive property. He got it. That's
There you
awesome. You know what?
go.
We're going to give you another meal somewhere for that. one right
Yes.
there.
Very good. Okay, go ahead and start us off,
Yeah.
Chris, with the distributive property on the first parentheses.
It would be 8 times x,
Which
then,
would equal what?
which would equal, we don't know because we don't know what x is.
So we have to leave the x there, don't we?
Yeah.
Next to the 8. Remember when we put a number and a variable side by side?
It would
that,
be
That means multiplication.
like
So let's just write the 8x.
this.
Oh, but we're going to write it
Okay.
underneath. You had it
Yeah.
right. Let's write it underneath it, okay? Perfect. So doing the distributive property, you just simply multiplied those two, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what are you going to multiply next?
X times 4.
We're going to say x times
No,
4?
8 times 4.
There you go.
It would be 32.
And then what do we have to put between? Got it. Yes. So obviously, doing our distributive property, I'll let you correct that real quick. We have our 8 times x, and then we have our 8 times 4. So we simplified that, right?
Yeah.
But let's go over to the other one. What do you notice on the outside?
Minus.
It's a minus, right?
Yeah.
And we still need to do distributive property, but do you see a number there?
No.
It's called the invisible 1. Have you heard of that before?
No.
Okay. Whenever we just have a minus sign outside of the parentheses, it's really like saying, a negative 1 times that. So what we do to help us, we put a invisible 1 there. We
Yeah.
put a 1 there.
Okay.
So now, do you think you can do the distributive property?
Yes.
Yes. What are you going to be timesing though? What are you going to be multiplying?
The minus 1, the negative 1.
The negative 1. Very good. So what would be negative 1 multiplied by x?
Negative 1 multiplied by x would be 1 times x.
Right, is negative 1x. Now, do you know your negatives with multiplication?
Yes.
Okay. Then now what are you going to multiply? We took care of the x. What are we going to multiply next?
The x, the 8 times x and the 8 times.
Oh, okay. Let's
Wait,
look
no.
at this real
Then
quick.
it'd be the 1 times the 5.
Right. What kind of 1?
Negative 1.
What kind of 5?
Positive 5.
Is it?
Wait.
What's in front of that?
Negative 5 then.
Right. So we're really saying negative 1 multiplied by negative 5. What do you think that's going to come out to?
Negative, wait no, it would be positive 5.
Got it. Nicely done. Remember, we have a negative multiplied by a negative, which is going to give us a
Positive.
positive. Okay. Do you think we're done yet, or do you think there's more that we are going to need to do to this expression?
More.
And actually, we wanted that plus right there.
Okay.
So let's think back to the previous equation that we did with all those negatives and positives,
Yep.
right? And you
Yeah.
said, oh, we need to do PEMDAS, right?
Yeah.
Well, we have variables and we have whole numbers. The whole numbers are called constant because there's no variable with it.
Okay.
What would be the easiest thing for you to solve right now? Just looking at it, what would you be able to solve?
The easiest thing would be the 32 plus the 5.
Go for it. Do that now.
Then it would be 37.
Okay. Then what do you think you can kind of put together?
The 8x with plus the
Is,
negative. wait,
is it plus or is that a minus?
minus? But
Okay. So what do you think
Minus.
8x minus 1x would be?
7.
7 what?
7x.
7x.
Then it would be
Now we have to have some kind of symbol, right? Some kind of operation. What operation should we put between those?
So think about the 37. Was 37
Yeah.
positive or negative?
positive.
Then put a positive symbol in front of it.
Right.
And do you think we've gone all the way down?
Yeah.
We have. Now, I'm going to go back to PEMDAS. PEMDAS is, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally.
Yeah.
We always are multiplying because before we can add or subtract, right? But can we multiply 7 times x?
Yeah. No.
No, because we don't know what it
Yeah.
is, right? So this is why we're done. We can't multiply, and if we can't multiply, I can't add. So you've simplified it all the way down. You can't do anything else.
There you go. Erase the board. I've got another problem for you, and hopefully you guys can get through this, all right? So here we go. -6, open parentheses, x minus 5, close parentheses, -2, open parentheses, 7 minus 3x, close parentheses,
All right, go for it.
and I
kiddo.
give you 3 minutes.
Okay, go for it.
3 minutes. So then this would.
Let's start with the front.
Negative 6 would be the the 6 plus the x.
Times the x.
Times x. But then we don't know what it is, so it would be negative 6 times.
Perfect.
Then.
Oh,
It would-
don't jump there yet. We still have numbers in the parentheses.
Then it would be x minus 5. Wait, no. No, negative 5
Times what?
times negative. No, 6. And it would be 30.
And what is our operation in the middle? Got it.
Okay.
Perfect. Now you can go to the other side.
Okay. And then the negative 2 would be the negative 2 times positive 7 and then times 3x.
Do just stick with the first two numbers there that you
Okay.
told me.
It would be negative 14.
Awesome.
And then the 3x would be the negative 2 times 3x would be, wait,
You have it.
I think.
Think of what's 2 times 3?
2 times 3, 6. Oh.
Is it positive or negative? Double check your integers. Perfect.
Okay.
Now simplify.
Then it would be I'm trying to think, but I can't.
Here, let me help you out. We have a negative 6x,
Hmm.
and we have a positive 6x.
Then they would cancel each other out.
You got it.
So then,
Yep, perfect. I love how you're doing that.
and then the 30 negative minus 14 would be 16.
That's it, nothing else to do.
That's it. You did a great job.
Nice,
Good
easy
job.
problem right there. All right, nicely done. Christopher, come on over here again.
And do you want me to erase the board?
You can erase the board, that's fine. All right, so I've got a couple of things to ask you. First of all, do you now have a better understanding of expressions and how to simplify them?
Yes.
Good, so after doing those couple of things right there, kind of give you a head start for what you're going to be doing later on in 6th grade this year. All right? The next thing, did you learn a little something with the music today?
Yeah.
All right. And so what was can you kind of do the clapping thing for me again, kind of what you'd learned?
The quarter note would be 1, 2, 3, 4. The half note would be 1, 2, 3, 4. And the whole note would be 1, 2, 3, 4.
There you go, perfect. Great understanding of that concept after just having seen it a little while ago. So, you learned a little something today. Did you have fun today? All right, good. That's what we wanted to hear. Hey, don't forget, we have phone tutors available until 5:30 this afternoon. And until we meet again, continue to do the math.
Major support for Do the Math has been provided by Chevron, the Kern County Superintendent of Schools, Edison International, Valley Strong Credit Union, California Resources Corporation, Bakersfield West Rotary Stroop Family Foundation, Panama Buena Vista Union School District, Bakersfield City School District, Kern High School District, and AC Electric Company, with additional production assistance provided by these supporters of education in Kern County and throughout the state of California.